What happens when love becomes a battlefield, and the only place left to hide is in each other's arms? Tonight, Hardin and Tessa aren't just sharing a bed, they're confronting every lie, every scar, and every secret that could tear them apart forever. Right finger if you believe love stories should hurt, heal, and haunt you. Hit subscribe now, because this one will stay with you long after it ends. The room was quiet but not peaceful. It held the kind of silence that pressed down on the chest, the kind that made every breath feel louder than it should. Tessa sat on the edge of the bed, her fingers twisting the soft fabric of the blanket, her thoughts tangled in ways she couldn't undo. Behind her, she could hear Hardin moving, restless, unsettled, like a storm trapped in a body that didn't know how to be calm. They hadn't spoken in minutes, but it felt like hours. "You don't have to stay," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper, yet it cut through the silence like a blade. Hardin stopped moving. For a second, she thought he might walk away. He had done it before, left when things got too real, too heavy. But this time was different. This time, he stepped closer. "I don't want to leave," he said. Tessa closed her eyes. Those words should have comforted her. Instead, they made everything hurt more. Because wanting to stay and knowing how to stay were two completely different things. He sat beside her, close enough that she could feel the heat of him, but not touching. Not yet. That space between them, it was filled with everything unsaid. Every argument, every broken promise, every moment they almost gave up on each other. "Why does it always feel like we're about to lose everything?" she asked. Hardin let out a quiet breath. "Because we don't know how to hold onto it without breaking it first." That was the truth of them. Messy, complicated, real. Tessa turned to look at him, really look at him. The sharp edges of his face softened by the dim light, his eyes carrying that familiar mix of anger and vulnerability. She had fallen in love with both, the storm and the shelter. "I'm tired, Hardin," she admitted. "Not of you, just of the chaos." He nodded slowly, like he understood more than he could say. "Me too." For once, there was no fight waiting to happen. No raised voices, no doors slamming, just two people, exhausted from loving each other too intensely. She shifted onto the bed, lying back against the pillows. For a moment, she hesitated, then she moved slightly, leaving space beside her. An invitation. Hardin stared at her like he wasn't sure he deserved it. "Come here," she said softly. He did. The mattress dipped as he lay beside her, both of them staring up at the ceiling, their shoulders barely brushing. That small contact sent a quiet electricity through the space between them, not fiery, not explosive, but steady. "Real. You ever think about what we'd be like if we met at a different time?" she asked. "All the time," he said. "Maybe we'd be easier." Tessa shook her head. "I don't think we were ever meant to be easy." A faint smile touched his lips. "Yeah, that sounds about right." Silence returned, but this time it felt different. Softer. Less suffocating. Slowly, almost hesitantly, Hardin reached for her hand. His fingers brushed hers first, like he was asking permission without words. When she didn't pull away, he intertwined their fingers. It felt like home. "You scare me," she whispered. "I know. But losing you scares me more." That was the moment everything shifted. Hardin turned toward her, his expression breaking open in a way she had never seen before. Not anger, not frustration, but something raw and unguarded. "I don't know how to love you the right way," he said. "But I swear, I'm trying." Tessa's eyes filled, not with sadness, but with something deeper. Understanding. "Then don't try to be perfect," she said. "Just don't stop choosing me." He didn't answer with words. He pulled her closer. Not in a desperate, overwhelming way, but carefully, like she was something fragile and strong at the same time. She rested her head against his chest, listening to his heartbeat, steady and grounding. For the first time in a long time, they weren't fighting each other. They were fighting for each other. Minutes passed, maybe longer. "Tell me something true," Tessa said quietly. Hardin hesitated, then spoke. "I've never been this afraid of losing anyone." Her grip tightened slightly. "Good," she murmured. He let out a soft, almost surprised laugh. "Good. Yeah," she said. "Because it means this matters." He looked down at her, his expression softening in a way that made her chest ache. "It does," he said. "More than anything, that night didn't fix everything. It didn't erase their past or guarantee their future. But it changed something. Because for once, they didn't run. They didn't hide behind anger or push each other away. They stayed. And sometimes, in a love like theirs, staying was the bravest thing they could do. Collision twist ending layer. As Tessa drifted toward sleep, wrapped in the quiet warmth of Hardin's arms, her phone lit up on the nightstand, unseen by both of them. A message. A name she hadn't spoken in months. A truth she hadn't told him yet. And just like that, the fragile piece of the night was already beginning to crack.